Hello Pisces, welcome to this reading for the month of January. I hope it finds you well, and I hope that if it found its way to you, that it was meant for you. This is going to be a general reading for the sign of Pisces, so there may be some things that do not resonate. If that's the case, please take what you recognize or check a different placement. I'm going to start the reading with a Moonology Oracle card. This is just to get an idea of like the main theme or event that's going to be affecting your month. Nothing will come of this situation. Void of course moon. Interesting. You may be like dwelling on a past or like a current situation that, you know, hasn't had a lot of progress, and the universe really just wants to tell you like move on, basically. Bottom of the deck, you're very close to achieving your goal. Those seem like conflicting messages, but it's, I think, like, you know, you're very close to what it feels like is like being on the path that you want to be. But on the current course that you're on right now, like you may have deviated from that course recently, or even like a while ago, thinking that, you know, you wouldn't be able to achieve whatever this is. And the universe is like, we're putting you back on the right path right now, basically. And just wanting you to know that you're a lot closer to what you want to be doing than you think you are. Alright, we're also going to get a Major Arcana card just to really round out the idea of this month. Temperance in reverse. I was kind of thinking this in terms of like, you know, the path that you're on now, leading you astray from this. Like, I feel like the path that you're on is kind of like the path of inaction. Like, you're not doing much of anything, and that's why nothing will come from this situation. That's kind of like the feeling I was getting from it. And now seeing Temperance in reverse here, yeah, like I feel like there's just, it's like a lot of all or nothing. I feel like there's a lot of like indulgences happening, if that makes sense. And instead of like putting the hard work into doing something, you're kind of just like, whatever, you know? And that's definitely understandable. But if you have a goal that you want to achieve, like the universe wants to tell you that you can do that as long as you stop doing what you're doing right now, kind of a thing. Alright, and I'm also going to go in with this Rider-Waite deck just to get an idea of like what events or situations you'll be finding yourself in during the actual month, and like what's really going to define it. Bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant in reverse. Yeah, like, I think you're just getting really away from, like, what's given you structure and stability. And again, it just kind of feels like this free fall energy of, like, whatever. Like, I'm taking life as it comes and getting what I can enjoy out of it in that time. And it's like, you could be having so much more than that instead of this, like, because I get a sense that it comes from a feeling of like disappointment. Like there isn't anything more for me beyond this because it hasn't happened yet, or, you know, it didn't quite work out when I thought it was going to. And it's like, it's there, it is there, it's within reach, but if you close yourself off from it, like, of course nothing's gonna come from the situation. And yeah, like, 8 of Swords in reverse behind the Hierophant, like, the only thing that's gonna move you forward is, like, letting go of these beliefs that you are holding that's keeping you back. Let's see, we also have the Knight of Pentacles, the Hermit in reverse, and the Four of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I think you're definitely going to come out of this. Like, you're not gonna rush into anything. You're taking your time. You're gonna make the steps necessary to get back on track, especially after like spending this time that you haven't. But you're coming back from this period of isolation and introspection and just like exhaustion, needing a break. And that could be part of it too. Like, you just needed to give yourself a break to, you know, recover from something, or just, you know, if you were burnt out, you just needed that. And like, we all need that sometimes. But I think with this here, it's like the message basically is like, okay, time's up. Let's get going now, basically. And yeah, I just really think you're ready to do that. Or you're going to be, at least, by the end of this month. Let's see this Hermit in reverse. We have the Ace of Wands, the Inspiration, Justice in reverse, and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, like, you're gonna be able to come to this new project. Like, I feel like this goal definitely has to do a lot with like finances or like a career goal kind of a thing. And yeah, like, you're gonna be taking the steps you need to start working towards it. And it's very much this feeling of like the beginning of something and putting the hard work into it. Yeah, and you're just gonna get struck with this inspiration. And I think you're gonna feel a little bit guilty about all this time that, you know, you've lost. But I also think the reason why you've spent a lot of this time is you've just really been dwelling on the fact of like how unfair everything is, if that makes sense. Let me see this Four of Swords. Two of Swords. Knight of Wands. Oh, I've got two here. Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Wands. I'm getting the sense of like, yeah, you're ready to come out from, you know, this much needed rest. But like, I get a sense that part of why you've been in it for so long is just kind of like a sense of depression. Which if you suffer from that, then you know that it's definitely something that holds you back from doing a lot of the things that you actually want to do. And like with this Knight of Wands, I see it as, you know, you going after the things that you want, being enthusiastic about it after this period of, you know, recovery. And with the Wheel of Fortune here, I feel is like the conditions are right now, and that's another reason the universe is trying to push you forward. Like, this is a good time for this to be happening, and it's like a divine timing kind of a thing. But like, it's not going to be smooth sailing. It's not going to be perfect. Like the way isn't completely paved for you. And if the going gets tough and you face, you know, some kind of setback while you're going after this, like, are you going to revert back into this kind of a thing? Is something you're going to have to face and you're going to have to acknowledge and really ask yourself that. Let's get some more Rider-Waite cards. This is either going to be like further things happening this month or expanding upon this or kind of the aftermath of this. We'll see what the cards have to say. We have the Five of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Most of what I'm getting from this side is just like your self-doubt. You're just having these like mental blocks or like fears that are what's keeping you held back. But at the bottom of the deck, you have the World. Like, yeah, you're definitely on the right path. You've been waiting for this new perspective to push you forward. Like, I feel like other people are spurring you to do this now too. Like they're it's like because they're worried for you, they're concerned for you, and they want you to, you know, do well as well. But they also recognize that if you're like stuck in a rut, like you kind of need to be snapped out of it. So I think there's going to be like a lot of kind of like butting heads before you're able to, you know, really break free from this. Or necessarily, or I don't know why I said necessarily, not necessarily that, I guess is what I meant to say, but not necessarily that it's, you know, going to happen before this, but like this could potentially be the spark that makes you just kind of like snap out of it, you know, that's not always the case. It's not something that people are always able to do, but I feel like this is something that's coming for you. Just kind of like wanting to put that out there for people that, you know, it sucks when people tell you to just snap out of it when you're depressed. And so like, it's not me saying snap out of it. It's not the universe saying snap out of it. It's just something that's going to happen to you, which is kind of how those breakthroughs happen anyways. And it's going to happen really quickly. And all of these like new ideas are going to be coming, and the movement towards this is going to be really quick too. And I think you're just going to be both worried about and like reminded of needing to keep yourself like grounded. Make sure that you're making this something that's going to last, because I kind of feel like there may be a history of this, like, you know, not really setting yourself up for the future and like kind of spending out of your means or living in the moment kind of a thing. And you may possibly like start falling back into those habits. And I think that's something that you're going to have to address. You may start falling back into those habits, or just the, you know, thinking about them might psych you out. Like it might be like, I'm just going to do this again anyways, aren't I? And, you know, you could become a self-fulfilling prophecy or, you know, just be your own downfall from succeeding, even if it's not falling to like this kind of, you know, self-serving behavior or something like that. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's more of like a reminder about like what did and didn't get you to your goals, you know. Let's get at least one card for this Nine of Pentacles. Five of Swords. Yeah, like I do feel like this is a situation a lot of you have been in, and it's caused a lot of grief. Like, I get the sense that this was like very kind of independent energy. And sometimes like the things that negatively impact us are also going to negatively impact those around us. And so even if it seems like, oh, I'm only affecting me, like I'm only living out of my means for myself, or, you know, being selfish for myself, if that makes sense, like not accusing you of anything, but like you think that like your poor decisions will only affect you, basically, is that kind of sense that I'm getting. And it's caused a lot of like arguments and frustration where it's like, I'm affected by this too, you know? And so I think that's definitely like a reminder going forward. Like, just remember, like, you're not in this world alone, kind of a thing. Like, you have people that are there to support you, and also like it's in your best interest to support yourself and them as well, you know, like just to keep everyone happy. Yeah. Let me see if I can get any additional cards for this Eight of Wands here. High Priestess. Yeah, so like this is going to happen really fast because you're going to be following your intuition. I mentioned this with another reading earlier, but it's kind of this feeling of you've been held back for so long that you're just going to burst into this now that you've kind of like come back into the light, if that makes sense. And just trusting your intuition is really going to help you down that path. Especially if your intuition reminds you about this. Definitely listen to it. Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. You're just going to be coming out of a period of just a very long recovery, and this jumping off point is very long overdue, so it definitely feels like it's just going to be a burst of excitement that happens at some point for you this month. Alright, so from earlier when we shuffled and read that Major Arcana card, the bottom of the deck is going to be the lesson that you're taking away from this month, and we have the Tower in reverse. Which I feel like you have the power to avert disaster. Because, like, the disaster is you living in this stagnant situation after experiencing some kind of tower event. And then also, beneath that, we have the Death card in reverse, like not being able to move on from something. And also underneath that, we have the Devil in reverse, like letting go of your indulgences and your vices that keep you held back. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that, like, if you had this tower moment that led you to the situation, the only thing that's going to help you rebuild is yourself. Like, you're going to be the one averting this disaster, because the only disaster right now, after all this time, is that you aren't, like, working on moving yourself forward, if that makes sense. Right, and then I'm just going to get one last card from the Moonology Oracle deck, and this is basically going to be, like, advice for you going through this month. Something to, like, remember, or just carry you through the month. Oh, not two here. Alright, confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. But also, your dreams need a practical plan. And that's the full moon in Taurus. So yeah, again, like, this energy is really gonna guide you through this. Like, you're so close to achieving your goal and you're going to be the one making it happen. But also make sure you're being realistic about it and, you know, keeping in mind things that have led you to failure before. Like, these arguments, for example, you know. So yeah, like, it's like, go after your dreams, but make sure you're putting in the work necessary to make them come true, basically. Alright, and that is the end of your reading, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it resonated with you. I hope you join me again in the future for another reading. And yeah, I'm wishing you a lot of luck. These kinds of like void periods, they feel so horrible. They feel like you'll never get out of them. They feel like you're never gonna come from them, or like come back from them. But you're on the right path, Pisces. You have been on the right path, and this is just a setback. And no longer how long it's lasted, it's just a setback, and you can still move forward from it. And yeah, I'm sending you guys lots of love and light. Take care.